It's not
It's
working.
Sunday. We go live every Sunday to talk to you about real estate investing, the markets, entrepreneurship, and different current events that we feel that are going to affect your business because we have been in business collectively for over 50 years. And now today, I am Kris Haskins. I'm with my trusted colleague and trusted advisor, Dan Borrero, and has added 25 years of entrepreneurship is my brother, Ronnie Haskins, because we're here celebrating the holidays. How you doing, gentlemen?
Oh man, I feel special. I'm on with both Haskins today.
That's
I
right.
feel special. I'm on with y'all too.
I- oh man,
What
I
up?
feel
Listen, y'all, you're
today.
joining us, huh?
I feel like I'm the man today. I'm in between the two Haskins.
That's right. So you're
Oh,
joining us tonight. We're doing the holidays. We got 15 people on here now. Please put your city. Where are you? It's a wonderful time to be with your family as we get back to work tomorrow. But I want to know your names. Put in the chat. What up, E? What's going on, E? Put your name in the chat and what city you're coming from. Sunday night, we answer your questions. So tonight we have an additional entrepreneur on here, my brother. He's been in the car. Is it resale business or what is the actual business that you're in?
it's the car business. I'm an independent dealer, but they call me an auto broker
My brother's an auto broker. Been buying and selling cars for how long, Ronnie?
since 1993.
Good God.
A little bit.
So you guys have got 3 entrepreneurs on here. Vermika out of the A. We were just talking about Killer Mike today. How you doing? San B from Detroit.
Detroit.
My Black Friday special is still going on right now, y'all. So if you're interested in help and learning all my secrets, just go to Kris Haskins Black Friday. It's on right now. You're going to get all my courses for an unbelievable discount, and we're going to give you rocket and rolling for 2025. Dan, you got anything you special you're selling for Black Friday?
My website, DannyBurrowJr.com. I got
It's right there. You can see it right
yeah,
there.
I'm literally I've got my mentorship unleashed video library, over 115 mentorship classes.
Wow.
And it's only $197 for normally $695.
Good.
That is good until today, tomorrow for Cyber Monday as well.
Good. Good.
Please
Good.
join us. Be part of the community.
So listen, y'all, get your questions in to talk about. We want to know, what are you doing with your deals? What are you doing? Are you buying and selling something? My brother is a car dealer. If you got a question about that, you want to know how to go about. Ronnie, people, how long does it take to get a dealer's license before we even get into that stuff? Is that something that somebody can do?
Anybody can do it. You just have to follow your state guidelines and look up the Independent Automobile Dealer Association in your state to get all the details.
Sweet.
Ronnie, but you're not a normal car dealer, Ronnie. Tell people what is it that you really do, man, because that's what you do is totally different.
It's special, man.
It's a special niche.
I save people time and hassle and provide them with expertise. It's just that simple. People work with me because we save them a lot of time, get them the vehicle they want, fair price always.
Makes it easy and sweet.
That's why people work with me. It's not for price. They're working with me to save time. They don't want to go to the dealership and spend all day Saturday. They just want to talk to me for 1 hour and get their entire situation figured out and then pick the car up.
Sweet. Michelle. So Dan, we were talking before we got on here about the good guy statute. I was reading about it, and in New York, it allows a tenant to break the lease at any time with no recourse. And Dan, I want to know how you feeling about that.
And you asking me, Kris, why?
I didn't say why. I just want to know, how does it make you feel?
So
because I'm just thinking like this. I can predict if here's my lease, right? I've got a lease. I want people to understand this. This lease is money in the bank, right? Let's say it's $1,000 a month. I can take this piece of paper and sleep at night knowing I'm getting $12,000 for the next 12 months. However, in New York, don't work like that.
No, look, the reality is and I know you look at it this way too, Kris, you, as well as you. And I want everyone to understand something.
My brother got rental property too. It's nothing
Yeah, uh,
different.
Ronnie has rental property as well, so we're all really, so the reality is, in my case, I don't care. That law doesn't affect me, because whenever a tenant wants to leave, tenants is satisfied with my service, tenants is satisfied with the noise level, tenants is satisfied, whatever the reason is. I'm like, you're more than welcome to leave whatever you want. I will
Okay,
retire.
let me change. Let me change the graphic of this question, then. For the ordinary mom and pa landlord, not the Dan Borreros of the world that have huge portfolios and no mortgages and they've been doing it for 30 something years. The normal landlord, Dan.
I've done that since day one, and I'll explain to you why. Whether you're a mom and pop or not. So I know people that'll sit there like, no, you owe me that money, and if you leave, I'm going to sue you. And I'm like, life is too damn short. If you have a good product, if you're a quality landlord, sometimes you're going to get stuck with people that are just unreasonable, right? On their expectations, or just unreasonable personalities in their entire lives, every aspect of their life, right?
That's true.
You can't make that person happy. Let them go. Let them go, because the quality of life matters more than the money. If you have a quality product, it's going to be real easy to get a quality tenant. So become a quality landlord, and you don't have these problems. If my tenant says, I just had an issue. Listen to this. I had a tenant that was last winter kept busting my chops. They keep hearing a noise whenever the heat comes on in their bedroom wall. So I go there, man, all different, like 6, 7 times. I can't hear this noise. So I had my plumbers, because there's 3 separate boilers in the building. So I had my plumber change the expansion tank to each boiler. Maybe that's the problem. I had my plumber bleed every system for every apartment, not only from the boiler in the basement, but he went to every room in the apartment and bleed them from there as well. Right? I'm trying to think of every possible reason, and they still tell me that they could still hear it. But now, all of a sudden, they tell me, "Oh, we don't hear anything. The last thing you did must have worked." After I spent like $3,000 trying to figure out a solution to a problem that I never witnessed, nor had any of my plumbers. All right. So now I send them a rent increase. Because that time of the year, I send my rent increases almost 4 months before the lease is going to expire. That way, they have more than enough time to go find a place to live. They don't want to pay my rent increase. Right? So they called me up and they say, listen, we got your rent increase. And by the way, we still can't sleep at night. No, they didn't call me. They sent me an email how they couldn't sleep at night, and how my rent increase was extravagant, and how they're really good tenants. They pay on time, and they're clean, and they're quiet. So I didn't respond. I was on vacation. 2 weeks go by, get back, they send me another email. I didn't respond. Now he calls me. So he says, I sent you 2 emails and you normally respond within an hour or so. And I said, I do, but I don't negotiate my leases.
Damn.
You're asking me to negotiate. I says, and then
what did he ask?
He was asking me not to raise rent. And then he said, yeah, but we're really good tenants. I said, yeah, but have I been a bad landlord? He said, no, you've been an exceptional landlord. I said, well, based on your logic, since you're a good tenant, you shouldn't have to pay rent. But since I'm an exceptional landlord, according to you, rent increase should be higher.
Yeah. I have something to add to that too.
Yeah, I said, I don't negotiate my rents. And he said, well, what about the noise and with the heat? And I said, look, why don't you move? I said, because it must be unhealthy. It must be extremely unhealthy for you to live there. And I'm not interested in creating an atmosphere that's unhealthy for you. Well, he went silent.
You, it's me. Go ahead, Ronnie. What do you say?
By the way, he's paying a rent increase, and he said the noise no longer bothers him, supposedly.
Yeah. Right. But he's also jeopardizing his relationship with Dan, because Dan could be like, you know what? That's one more time, I'm going to have to cut you loose.
No, but for screw that. I went so far. I said, "Listen, I'm not going to give you one." He said, "Can I have a 2-year lease?" I said, "No." The offer
No.
was a 1-year lease, but now I'm not even going to offer you that. I'm going to give you a month-to-month lease. You can lease, and you can leave whenever you want.
I will tell you why it's resonating with me. For you people listening, this is really resonating with me because he said from day one he's done this. And I think it's important. Like your numbers have to make sense no matter if the rent's not going to be there or not. And so we've done the same damn thing, dude. Like 25 years ago, if I'm buying you $100,000 car or a $35,000 car, it doesn't matter. Your deposit's $250.
And that's not negotiable.
Yeah, no, it's not. Your deposit, like, so I use my money to buy the cars. So all I want is $250 that's applied to your deal. And I've had people go sideways, like, hey, we changed our mind, something's going on. Here's your money back. Have a good day. I never keep it, man. It's like,
No.
yeah, but
No.
it's
Someone
it's
says
the,
on Instagram if there's a termination fee, no early termination. No, I'm not interested. People, when your tenant wants to leave, they're not happy. If they're not happy, they're going to make you unhappy.
yeah.
Life is too short to be dealing with tenants that are unhappy. If you've done everything you were supposed to do, there's no reason for you to try to keep a tenant in a location that's either not healthy for them or they're unhappy. It's not worth
It's about looking in the mirror. Like I've had salespeople tell me, I want to keep the 250. The customer's not acting right. I'm like, you haven't done your job. If your decisions are coming down to always blaming the customer, I'm looking at you. I'm like, let that customer go. You're right, because they will wreck your reputation. They will tell people always tell people 50 people when they're unhappy. They tell one person when they're happy. And you're gonna do it. Your reputation is worth more than $250 or $1,000 deposit. It don't matter. Let them go.
Let them go.
That's good.
Quality of life, man. Quality of life and name brand.
Yeah.
Chris, we have any phone calls?
I had one just come in, but the guy hung up. Listen, guys, get your questions. We got Dan Borrero and my brother Ronnie Haskins here on. Y'all get your questions in regarding any type of.
We got Kris Haskins on.
No doubt.
That?
Me too. I'm here. Yeah. I keep telling my wife I'm okay. I mean, I'm actually.
So, if you guys don't mind, man, I'd love to talk about the importance of networking, because this here is the result of us going to
the vault
network. Mm-hmm. Can we talk about that if you guys don't mind? Because I don't think that's discussed. The importance of networking is discussed enough.
They say millionaires talk about ideas, strategy, and execution, and billionaires talk about network. Why do you think Bezos has a spaceship and Elon has a spaceship? Networking.
So we met in 2019.
Yeah.
I don't remember what part of the year it was, if you guys do. And September. And I was at an event with my brother David, and Kris Haskins and Ronnie Haskins were also attending this event together. And we met at this event, and we hung out that whole night, that first night, remember?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to dinner, we hung out at the bar, played some pool, right?
We made friends.
A long night.
The thing was, like, with that, once you start eating with people, and Dan, both of y'all, I just can't stress enough. How much are you spending to meet new people? Like when we put ourselves in that room, we spent a ton of money, thousands of dollars to be in there. I knew I already knew I was going to meet a Dan Borrero. I knew that these guys were going to be there. Because it's even the more money you spend, you're going to meet different type of people. And
Absolutely.
People just do not want to spend the money. I don't know what it is. Like you have to spend this money to be inside of these rooms, because that's where we hang out.
Investing in yourself.
It's funny. How about, I've been like, how do I explain this without trying to sound like a schmuck? Thanksgiving, I was in a room with people that were not real estate investors. Most of them were not entrepreneurs. Actually, none of them were, with the exception of my brother and I. And I found it to be boring, man. The conversations to me were just boring. Does that happen to you
Dude,
guys?
you wow, man. You are just too much. You are too.
I was
See,
like,
me and my brother can go back and forth all day about leads, about networking, about warming up leads, slow dancing all the time. But yeah, you're right, Dan. It's just like I enjoy listening to the stories. He was just going over stories about going to the auction, different buyers. He sends me text messages about people that want to do deals. I love hearing it. I could just talk it all day.
yeah, like it doesn't matter what business the other person is in, right?
Doesn't matter. It's just a lead. Yep. You got to find the lead, qualify the lead, close the lead.
But how many
Yeah.
times have, like, I remember, I don't know if you remember the conversation we were having at the bar at the Vault with that guy who sells arms. Remember the guy who sells military arms,
He's an arms dealer.
Oh
right?
yeah.
He's in the Philippines.
Yeah, and he was talking about things that he did in his business, and I was like, wait a minute, I can do
Interesting
that in
stuff.
my business. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
just different organizational tactics. You know,
Hmm.
I implemented that into my business, and it was extremely successful. Even though our businesses had nothing in common. That guy was that was an interesting conversation with that guy.
Yeah, the arms dealer was something. So, anything new regarding what has happened? Let's start with my brother. Anything new in your industry, Ronnie, regarding the automotive industry that you're looking out for as we close the year out and move into 2025?
I think that the longer I'm in the industry, the more I'm keying in on opportunity buying instead of reactionary buying. You know, most people buy a car because they have to get one. And I'm not talking to the people that have enough money to buy themselves out of a car at any moment. Like the Borreros, like he's like, well, I need a truck. Like, okay, get a truck tomorrow, you know. But what I mean by that is right now there's a lot of rebates on electrified cars.
Okay.
And they're very polarizing. You know, they're one side or the other. It's like, I don't like they got 20 grand in rebates on it because I don't vote that way. It's like, dude, the money's going to get used just like in solar. Just like in all of these different things, they're throwing money at these things. The question I have is, how are we going to sell these electric cars when they don't have any government subsidies?
You mean later, resale?
No. Like right now, they did a thing.
Hold on, caller. We're going to let my brother finish this and we'll get the caller. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Like right now, you can get a $70,000 Audi, right, for like, say, $600 a month because it's got $14,000 in rebates. Without that $14,000, it's $1,100-1,200 a month. How do you sell the cars when you don't have the rebate money?
Let's talk about that.
How are you going to sell it without the rebate money and the proposed tariffs that Trump wants to put in?
Let's come back to that. Hold on, guys.
Yeah.
Right, we'll come back to that. Let's take the call.
Sure.
Caller, you're on the line with Kris, Ronnie, and Dan. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Hey guys, my name is Jennifer. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Jennifer.
Hi, Jen.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Thank you for calling in.
What is your question?
So,
what you got going on?
So my question is regarding the networking that Dan had mentioned. If you're a new person, you pay the cost to be in the room, what should be your focus while you're in there so that you have something to work with when you get back base?
Good question.
Repeat
Perfect question.
What should be your focus of the conversation?
What should be my goal as a new person entering in the room, knowing that I'm going to meet people that are, further in their journey than I am? What should I be trying to accomplish while I'm there to maximize my time?
I got three things for her.
Of value to bring back that I can work with once I get back home.
Great question, Ronnie. Go ahead and hit it first.
Jennifer, that is like the perfect question. So let's talk about before the event.
What can I do?
Yeah, she did. Before the event, you have a business, right? So you want to think about the types of industries so you want to think about who you want to meet. Who's a good client for you that brings you referrals, right? If you're in the leasing industry, so you're looking at real estate agents or whatever. So you just get a list in your head, and most people go to these networking events with 500 people, and they give out 500 business cards and expect people to call them. I go into a room and I try to meet 5 people intentionally that I'm trying to connect with that are good referral partners for me. Not only can they help me, but I can also find them business. I can give to them. I can figure out a way to connect them with the people they want to be connected to instead of just taking. So if I was answering your question, I'd be like, look, go in that room knowing what 5 industries do you want to meet, find 5 people like that, get those cards. Don't even give them your card. You get their cards, make sure you got email, phone number, business name, and then follow up with a handwritten card and follow up with an email, text message, phone call, and try to set up a lunch with them. When you call to set up the lunch, it's not about, hey, I want to sit with you so you can get me business. No, it's like, I'd like to meet you so I can learn more about your business so I can be a better referral partner for you. So I've got people in my network that might want to meet you.
Good one, Dan.
I think the amount of success I have when I go to a networking event is the result of my preparation before I go to that networking event. All right. So I make sure I try to really sleep well a couple of nights, 2 nights at least straight before I go, although it's extremely difficult because, we're trying to get ready. When you're self-employed, your business still has to run while you're at these events. So, we're working like animals before and after. But, 1, sleep well. 2, take a huge bag of mints with you, because the mints, you want to make sure you don't have your breath is not smelly. You want to make sure it also helps you stay awake during the conference when people are talking on stage. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure that you go to the networking event website, because many times those websites are putting in who's already said.
Yeah.
Right. So I look through the list of who's going to be attending, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to want to meet him, and him, or her, and him. Right. And I have that in my head that I'm going to come away meeting these people, and I'm going to have a conversation with these people before I leave that event. And we're going to become associates somehow, some way, whether they're referring to me or I'm referring to them, or we're going to be doing an IG live or YouTube, whatever that is. We're going to connect and we're going to do something together, right? So
I love it.
It's and then the other thing is, and this is really important, and until today I still do the same thing. I will go online and Google what are the top 10 questions I should ask people at an event for entrepreneurs, at an event where it's teaching about sales, at an event where it's teaching about whatever that is, right? Because you'd be surprised. They're going to give you like icebreaker type of conversations. Like, I remember I was getting on the elevator with what was the guy, the mobster from was it something
Francis? Yeah,
Michael Francis, and my brother and I got on the elevator. Who's on the elevator was Michael Francis, and I said to him, whether it was true or not was irrelevant. Out of all the speakers today, you were the best speaker. You were the one that intrigued me the most. And he asked me, well, yeah, what was it? And I just came up with something quick. What intrigued me the most about what he said? We were hanging out for 45 minutes talking.
Wow.
Right. So, again, there's always an opportunity. So, but I would say your preparation before the networking event is what's going to pay off most for you.
Good one. Both of y'all got some good stuff. Jennifer, we're going to wrap this up. So for me, it's a book you might like. It's called The 92 Ways to Talk to Anybody. I used to be a horrible networker. I would walk in the room with a chip on my shoulder when I first got into real estate. Nobody looked like me. It was an extremely mental issue that I was dealing with when I first started in real estate. But I learned that a lot of these dudes actually don't mind talking to you. And some people do. But so you don't know who it is when you first meet them. But there is something that I learned from this book called to have a what's it. So if you notice me, right, and all of us have our little things that we like to do, I always, always, always have something where people can talk to me about. Whether it's a fucking We Buy Houses coat, whether it's an Enjoy Real Estate shirt, whether it's an I Buy House, something that somebody's going to say, damn, I never seen that before, right? So I like to wear clothing that kind of, it's a conversation starter. What is this? What is this stuff? So you can decide whether you want to talk to me or not. And you kind of would. It's just a conversation starter. And the book goes on to say that it was an extremely beautiful girl. She was at the bar and she saw a gentleman at the bar with them, and she wanted to talk to him, but she was like, "He ain't got no what's it. I don't got nothing to go over there and talk to him about." Right? So I have a what's it, and then like my brother said, don't try to meet everybody. Just go say, "Hey, listen, what do you do? How do you do it? How long you been doing it? Where you from? Job, kids, family." And then you can see what value you can bring to them. We're all looking for value. And my brother did also say, I might be a good referral partner for you, just because you ain't going to do business with everybody, but you might know somebody that can help that person.
Listen, I got to vouch for what's it, because it's because of that coat that Kris Haskins was wearing.
We wouldn't even be here today.
We wouldn't be here today. My brother saw Kris walking in. Everybody's dressed in business attire. Here comes my man Kris with a black coat with this big sign on his back. I buy houses.
Let's go.
And my brother was like, check this guy. I was like, man, I want to talk to him. So I walked right up to him, right, Kris? I was like, man, I love
That's
you.
right.
Bro. Let's talk about it.
How many guys walk around with a corny, nerdy looking we buy houses coat?
Only Kris Haskins.
It worked.
It worked. Look, I'm hanging out. I'm in Dan Borrero. I'm going out to dinner with the guy after, so.
Yeah.
Jennifer, did we give you the value?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kris, for what you do. I've been rocking with you for a few years now. Love you to death.
Much love to you. Happy holidays. Thank you. All right. See you soon.
Happy holidays. Bye-bye.
That was a nice
everybody,
call.
including people on IG that's watching in on this, if you call, you could call in this number, 757-204-1332, and ask us your questions directly. Today we also have Mr. Haskins, Ronnie Haskins, on with us. And that's a whole different perspective. So take advantage of this opportunity, because we're giving out some serious information.
We got an IG question, y'all.
What's the
Miss
question?
Guerrera, Miss Guerra, how do you get the tenant to pay for upgrades that they may request, such as security screens? I don't know what that is. Are those metal screens in the windows, Dan?
I assume on the doors most of the time.
Handicap rails in the tub. How do you get the tenant to pay for that?
Handicap rails in the tub is something that you shouldn't have. You should just do if there's a need for it.
Patrick.
Do it anyway.
And then as far as the security screens, something else that I would recommend you should do if it's going to increase the security to the tenant. Now, why should the tenant?
Caller, Dan. Go ahead.
Yeah, the tenant shouldn't have to pay for that. That's an upgrade to the building, the capital improvements that are one, tax deductible, and two, if you want to be you want quality tenants, you got to be a quality landlord.
Carla, you're on the line with Ronnie, Dan, and Kris. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Patrick out of Alabama.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey.
Patrick from the A. What city you at? What city you in, Patrick?
I'm in Gaston, Alabama.
Gaston.
All right.
What's up, my brother? How can we help you? What you got going on?
Yeah, I don't know if this is. I see all the business minds there. I don't know if this specifically goes to real estate or business in general, but I seen that the BOI, the business ownership information. I've been so busy. I really don't know anything about it, but I know it's like something that's coming up, and I'm clueless on what I need to do, and I just wanted to see if anybody on the panel know anything about it or have actually moved forward in doing that.
BOI, I don't know. Dan?
Ronnie? Yeah, you know what that is, right, Ronnie?
I'm familiar. So I where I'm at with it, I think that's a good question. I can't repeat it all. Right before I left, I turned that over to my accountant, who was going through it and getting it filed. I'm not prepared to speak on it, but I know it's something I had to do. So she's got it on her desk, getting it taken care of.
So essentially, what
the owners got
information. So my understanding is, like, there's states like Nevada, Wyoming, Delaware that would keep all of your your LLC or S corp,
Colorado. Yeah.
all the information private, right? So let's say you had a product that you were selling and it was defective and caused someone irrevocable harm, for instance, right? It was going to be extremely difficult to sue the owners of that product, right? Because you couldn't find them, right? Through corporate shields in different states. Now, the federal government says, you know what? There's a lot of unscrupulous people who are going into business intentionally looking to defraud American public. So they came out with this law that says, if you have an LLC, S corp, you have to now, even if you're incorporated in one of the states that'll keep it all secret, you have to now record that with the federal government, so that in the event somebody wants to sue you, they could actually find you right now. So some people say that's not fair, that's not right. And my argument is I think it is right, because there's so many companies that have been out there defrauding the American people, using these shields as these laws that exist in these other states. But yes, you have to have it in. If you're asking me how to do it, you're asking the wrong person.
We just paid
my accountant.
Patrick, we just paid.
That's what I did.
Yeah,
let them do it.
Yeah.
Don't even,
because they'll do it right the first time.
Yeah.
So
I hope that answers the question,
Yeah.
Patrick.
I have an accountant. That's that I didn't know if I needed to do that myself or get my accountant to do it.
Have your
like I said, I just put my eyes on it this week, so I didn't know what was going on. So I knew y'all probably had a little bit more information than I'd had. So, and that's nothing. So, yeah.
Hey,
so,
man, we're all in the same boat. Yep.
Okay, Patrick.
Thank you,
my
Patrick.
account was like, that's for guys that are trying to hide. Like, we have our LLC. My registered agent is right there. I mean, I'm like, it's nothing. I don't have anything. I mean, she's like, dude, all your stuff's already public record. I mean, what the hell are you? It's not. It's nothing.
So am I, man. It's like, if you're trying to hide, then it's a problem.
If you're trying to hide, I mean, obviously set your stuff up. But here's the thing: these dudes, I get people all the time. They want. I'm sorry. Let me get the phone number. They want to learn how to use land trusts and put their property. I'm like, dude, I don't teach people how to get out of responsibility. That's just not what we're about. People want to get out of child support.
We have homeschool for.
Caller, you are on the line with Dan Borrero, Kris and Ronnie Haskins. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Hey guys, my name is Ali. I'm calling out of Atlanta, Georgia, via New York originally.
What's up, Ali?
How are you?
Ali?
Hey guys, hey man, I want to say I have the utmost respect for all of you guys. Actually being in the business for the real from the faking. It's a shame you guys are not viral, but it just goes to show the average mindset is not ready for the real stuff.
I appreciate that.
We do an eviction. I was telling my people today, we do an eviction video, gets 60,000 views in a week. We teach them how to buy a house without the bank and gets 500 views.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Thanks, Ali. Much respect to them.
It speaks volumes about society.
No doubt.
Sorry, guys. It seems like there's a lag in the call, so I didn't mean to over talk anybody.
You good? You got something? You drop it on.
You have a question?
Yeah. Yes, I do, guys. Okay, so Dan, well, everybody, but my question is kind of similar to what Dan is experiencing. I have a tenant in a Section 8 home, and she's only been there 2 months, and she seems like she's got like extreme OCD. And my question is, the roof sprung a leak. I put a tarp on it day one, the same morning. And she's demanding I put a new roof, even though it could be patched. I just wanted to know what you guys think about that. And she's trying to leverage me to do it by she's pointing, taking pictures of little cracks of shoe mold and stuff like that, even though the house passed Section 8 inspection. And yeah, I just wanted to know, do I have to put a roof on? I don't think I do, but how would you guys handle this?
I tell her to move.
Yeah. I was afraid Dan she would try to play the retaliation game on me, though.
A retaliation? What?
Tell her to move.
Well, what she's been doing, guys, right? She's been sending me pictures of different little tiny things, right? and I could just be ignorant on my part. I didn't know if she would say he's only asking me to leave because he wouldn't give me a roof. I don't know. Some of these tenants, as Dan calls them, they're professional tenants. So that's why I was reaching out to you guys to kind of make sure I'm on point.
All right, Ali. So let me just point something else out. Point something out to you. Before I say that, how many doors do you have?
I got around 12 doors right now. This one is in Alabama, coincidentally.
Okay. Did you personally interview that tenant?
Dan, Dan, you were in my ear. You were on my shoulder after the fact because she checked out good on paper. She had a job. She presented well. Sometimes at least she checked all the boxes. But there was one thing right before she moved in, Dan. I had already signed the lease. She said, "Oh, a friend of mine was telling me that they saw online where someone was using a toilet and it fell through the floor." And at the time, I thought I was hallucinating. I was like, "You're telling me this because?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just a little nervous." But I had already signed the lease, Dan. But like, I thought about you, and I was like, "Crap! I can't be mad at her. I got to be mad at myself, right?" So yeah,
that's magic.
At least for that market, some of those people are trash, and she was the lesser of the evils. At least for that market in Section 8, Dan. But yeah.
So look,
Ali.
Go ahead, Ron.
I just did you answer this question? Did you personally interview her?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
Stuff didn't come out till afterwards on subsequent phone calls.
All right, Ali, first thing I want to tell you is you should join my free mentorship class that I do every single Wednesday night. We cover this subject.
Dan, I got news for you. I'm on the class. You called me the other day, and we're supposed to link up sometime this week. But I signed.
Okay.
Called me. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you what I would do. I would fix it, and I would not do it myself. So many times,
You mean the roof?
No. If the roof is that, look, the reality is I put a roof down and 5 years later I get a small leak. I'm calling the roofer that put it up because things like this happen. What matters is the time frame that you move, how quickly you move to get it resolved. Things are going to happen. What really matters is how you manage the resolution of those things, right? That's number one. Number two, the tenant doesn't have the right to tell you how to repair the roof. The tenant does not have that right. I don't care what state you're in. Do you have to repair the roof and the damage caused by the leak? Absolutely. Now, I would not be doing it myself. Yeah. If you're that person that likes to do it yourself, in this situation, you cannot. You're going to have to get a professional to come and do it. Reason why is because you want documented proof that you had somebody that was licensed to do the job. I would also have somebody go in, also a contractor that's licensed to remove the mold and make the necessary repairs that are in the inside immediately without any delay, because that's the situation that start to snowball and become bigger with allegations to I'm unhealthy, I can't breathe, my kids are sick, they can't go to school, right? Oh, I can't sleep at night, which means I can't perform at work. I'll keep going. Look at Chris's face. But these are all the
allegations
are going to come up with, right? So you need to move quickly. whenever there's a concern that she sends you, and on her lease renewal, I don't know what in New York, depending on how long they've been there, every state has different rules. In Florida, all I got to do is give them a 30-day notice that I have no intentions of renewing their lease. I normally send it, 90 days that I have no intentions of renewing their lease. They got time to go look.
Okay.
Right now,
Dan, I don't think I answered you properly. I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry. It's a lag in the call. Sorry about that.
Right now, you're stuck with her. You don't have a choice. But at the end, when you get 3-4 months into the end of her lease, I wouldn't do it. I'd have my attorney do it. I would have my attorney do it to make sure it's done right. Okay. And I would have her served, clearly stating that we're not going to be giving you another lease. You need to leave.
Okay. I appreciate it, Dan. I don't do the work myself. I have guys who do the work. I don't think I answered you right because I didn't hear you right.
Okay.
And the morning she called me 7 in the morning. She said the roof was leaking. My roofer was there at 8 a.m. and he put a tarp up. And
Love
this all happened a few days ago. And he's got a schedule, but she wants like a roof ASAP, even though the house is not leaking anymore. So it's I dropped the ball, Dan. But that market is kind of tough to get sensible people. The numbers are good, but I was thinking about even selling that house because I already added my values to it, et cetera, et cetera. But you said she can't come after me for retaliation if I just ask her to move out, right?
Well, you got to do it according to the law. You can't just say get the hell out. You know,
No. The formal 60 days.
Again, you need to speak to landlord tenant attorney for that specific area because every area is different in the United States of America. All right, every state has their own laws. Every county has their own laws. Every township has their own laws. Right. So familiarize yourself with what I suggest you do is, and I state this all the time. Whenever I go into a specific area to start buying property, or that I want to start going to buy property in, one of the first things I do is after I think I want to buy in that area because the numbers look good, and I will go down to the Department of HUD and look at all the housing laws right online. But sometimes I don't really understand them with certain verbiage. So I write down my questions and I hire an attorney that specializes in tenant landlord court. And I'm going to sit there with all my questions for 1 hour and pay that attorney $350. And that attorney's going to educate me. What I could ask, what I can't ask, what I could do, what I'm entitled to, what I can't do, what is a tenant entitled to, what are the tenant rights, and how long would it take me to get rid of a tenant? How would I do that? How much money is it going to cost me, right? So these are the questions I'm asking that attorney. So before I start even buying in that area, I know how difficult it's going to be to get rid of a tenant.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you, guys. You guys are the best thing smoking, man. I really appreciate it. You guys are just really giving so much gems to the world, man. And I want to give y'all flowers because y'all definitely deserve it. I mean that.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ali.
Listen, little button
Ali, man, let's set up that phone call, man. Send me an email, please.
There's a button you can join.
You called me, Dan. Should I text you back on that number or?
Yeah, text me.
I don't know if you remember, man. You called me. I was driving around. So
I remember.
We'll do one more call. Then
appreciate you guys.
I was just going to explain. I was calling Ali because anyone that joined my free mentorship Unleashed program is only $197 right now. Still today, you can find it at my website, Daniel Borrero. And he was one of the people that purchased it.
Sorry, Ali.
Nice.
Carla, you are on the line with Kris, Dan, and Ronnie. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Kris? It's Sam Coker.
Sam, where you what's
going on, Dan?
You right here, Sam.
How are you?
You in Norfolk, Virginia?
Yeah, I'm actually traveling back from New York right now.
Oh shit.
Okay.
What's up, Sam?
How are you,
Hey, Sam? What you got going on, buddy? Good to hear from you. Happy Thanksgiving, all that good stuff.
Likewise, happy Thanksgiving to you. Hey, what's going on, Dan? I got a question about tenants in Brooklyn, New York.
I'm listening.
So certain things like tenants are complaining about centipedes and water bugs. Is that something that we have to take action on immediately?
Immediately.
They don't call them water bugs. They call them strictly roaches.
No, water bugs and roaches are two different species, bro.
I'm just saying, a water bug is a roach, but some people don't call it a water. Because we know what they are, but they're like, nah,
Yeah, listen. If you like, man, reach out to me. Send me a DM. I'll give you an exterminator that I use in Brooklyn. I would highly recommend that you jump on it. Because if you start to have an eviction process, that's one of the things that the tenants are going to complain about to the court. You have to have document to prove that you have an exterminator monthly come in and do it. In reality, it's very inexpensive. The other thing I would tell you to do is have that same exterminator put 8 boxes, your garbage cans one in the backyard, and have to fill it in every month. Take pictures of that so that when you do go to court, you're doing everything possible to avoid any rodents or roaches in the building. I would also have them put the bait boxes in the basement of every building, especially now in the winter, because rodents are always trying to get into where it's warm, right? So yeah, that's something that you should definitely do. The other thing I would do, and I've done, and I continue to do, is I will send everybody a letter a certified return receipt letter in the building, and I state to them that we've had a complaint about water bugs, and the exterminator is going to be coming every month on this date of the month at between these 2 hours, and it's only going to be as effective as the tenants allow it to be. We need to get access to every single apartment so that we could attack this uniformly, right, from all areas of the building. Now, I also have where the exterminator doesn't get paid unless he sends me the sign-in sheet, the sheet where every tenant that let him in signs the sheet, right? So when I go to court and they say they got water bugs, I'm like, well, my exterminator's been there 12 months. She only let him in 3 times. And here's the proof that I have my exterminator with the copies of the invoices and copies of the canceled checks. See what I'm saying? The other thing I do is I send a letter and it states to the tenants, hey, to avoid water bugs, to avoid rodents and roaches, what I highly recommend is that you wash your dishes. Don't leave dirty dishes in the sink, right? Make sure you don't leave any food in the dog's bowl, or clean out the cat litter on a regular basis, right? Or clean off your counters and your tables with no crumbs. You have to educate your tenant. And now, again, why do I tell you to do that? Because when you go to court, you want to look as if you're being proactive. You're a proactive. You want to look when you go to court. Your attorney's got to tell us only has 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes to argue in front of that judge and create a story. And your documentation creates that story.
That's the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point.
I got one more question. Dan. How would you go about encouraging your tenants to bring all complaints to you versus going immediately to the city to complain about it?
Well, they should. That's just a normal thing. I mean, they're going directly to the city. It tells me that you've been unresponsive in the past.
Uh-oh.
Or you weren't responding quick enough, right? So, because usually when tenants go directly to the city, it's out of frustration, not because that's what they want to do first.
Usually, but it might be a different one. Sam, are they going to the city first? Have you been slacking on getting them straight?
Well, and Dan, we sat down with you before. Me and my brother have had a consult with you.
Yes, I remember you now. I remember you. That was your father's building or something?
Yeah. My father passed away, left us the building, and now we're trying to,
Yeah, bro. I will tell you.
So,
let's set up another call, bro. But let's do it for 30. You don't need more than 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and make sure your brother's on the phone when let's do, because he was on the phone with us the last time too.
Yeah.
Let's
All
do
right,
that.
Sam. Talking
Well,
to you,
I
brother.
appreciate you guys, and likewise, Chris.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, Sam.
This phone is blowing up, y'all. Damn, I had to turn away 6 calls while he was on the line. Oh, wow.
Please call back. Please call us back in.
You got time, Ronnie? You got time, or you going
Yeah. I ain't flying out till tomorrow night.
Listen,
we got some good questions tonight, guys.
Yes, 70 years of entrepreneurship wrapped up. Here's the thing, man. I want y'all to just help our people, the people that say, I want to get into business for myself because I don't want to wake up early and go to work for somebody else. I just hear this every day.
Yeah. So you want to work 24/7? I don't want to work 9 to 5. I want to work for myself. Okay.
People tell you, I want to go to business for myself because I want free time.
You want to hear something funny? You want to hear something funny, Dan?
that?
A
Press 1.
new salesperson, right?
Hold on
What are
second,
my
please.
work hours? I'm like, well, 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. I said, I don't expect you to actually do that.
One
But if
second,
I were
caller.
you,
One second.
that's what I would do.
Caller, you're on the line with we'll get to that in a minute. We're talking about being an entrepreneur. Caller, you're on the line with Dan Borrero, Kris and Ronnie Haskins. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Allison from Brooklyn, New York.
Allison.
Allison,
Allison,
hello.
you know who Allison is. Allison, how are you, Al? You trying to sneak in there?
Hi, Dan.
Allison's
Well, I asked you
many
a
of our
question
events, Kris.
yesterday
What did you ask him yesterday?
What'd you ask me yesterday?
about self-directed IRAs. I was curious about how you structured yours, because I want to do a partnership with using SDIRA funds, and I was just a bit confused.
I'm happy about that.
Well, that's a Kris Haskins questions there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I was just curious how you have structured your deals, because I have a possible deal that I would like to use the funds for.
Man, I can talk about this all day.
You got to speak up, Kris. You got to speak up.
Oh, am I sick? It went down? Sorry.
Okay, so basically, I want to use it for down payment and closing costs. I will have a partner. I know you can't use your loan has to be a non-recourse loan. So I'm just, I don't know what the next step is, what kinds of loans I should be using, how the partnership should be structured.
So what,
do you have any advice?
Is it a particular deal right now?
I want to make an offer on a deal.
All right. So there's a million ways to do this. Unfortunately, I just kind of need to know a little bit more. Tell me about the purchase price.
Around 100,000. It's going to be a fix and flip.
Purchase price is 100. And what do you see in your mind coming out of your IRA? How much?
For down payment for my last deal, I spent just under 40. So I expect to pay around the same for down payment and closing costs.
Okay, so unfortunately, I'm not a qualified representative to obviously help you structure this stuff. I can only tell you what we've done in the past.
Right.
Right. So we don't necessarily, we have no recourse loans. So we would use a private money lender. Do you have anybody to loan you the other portion of the money?
Not right now, because the person that I usually use, they only do recourse loans.
Only do recourse. Okay, cool. So if I were you, I would start going.
Can you explain to the audience the difference between recourse and non-recourse loans? Because most people don't know what that is.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So non-recourse is that it's not personally guaranteed, and recourse is that it's personally guaranteed. So they basically can go after your personal asset if you default.
Yeah. So just use any type of hard money lender, not any. A lot of them don't require you to personally guarantee it because they're only going to loan to the entity. So yes, that is oh man, you're talking language. So you're going to do this, it's all going to be tax free. The money that comes in, you might have to worry.
I mean, hopefully.
So you might have to worry about UBIT, or what is it? Unrelated business income tax. Maybe. I don't quite, you talk to your accountant about that, but yes, hard money guys. And just type in non-recourse lenders in my area. And those DSCR, was it debt service credit ratio? You can try those loans too. Sometimes they will be non-recourse too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you done them with a partner as well? Because I know the money in the IRA that's a different entity, and I really can't be a part of it, right? Have you used another person as your partner in those types of deals?
Absolutely, Allison. So when we go to do partnerships with people like that, I just turn myself into a lender. Say the deal is $100,000 to buy, and me and Dan want to do a deal. I would loan Dan the 20, right? I'm just telling you what we do. I'm not saying that recommending this stuff. This is what we do. I would say, Dan, he's going to create a note. I'm going to loan him the 20.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do the work. In fact, he might even go out and get the loan. But I'm just a lender. So in that case, my loan will bring back $10,000. You can do a flat fee loan as opposed to like a percentage and points and all that stuff. So if I loan you 20, he'll pay me back 10 in 12 months. He does everything, and I'm just a lender. Not me, my IRA as a lender, as opposed to the IRA being on title and all that. That way, when you turn your IRA into a lender, you take yourself out of so much liability. I mean, dude, all I did was loan them the money. I mean, they can't. What are they gonna do?
Allison, I gotta be honest. I love the lending side with my IRA. Love it.
It's just you do. You can't get trimmed up because you're not on title. You didn't own anything. You never bought anything. It's like so. That's why I like being a lender with my IRA because it's not. They won't look more like self-dealing.
The thing is, when you do that, Allison, then I would say you should be lending the entire amount.
Get it out.
Let them come up with the down payment and the closing costs. You lend up the rest of the money plus the repair costs through your IRA, so that way you are the first. Your IRA is the first lien holder on the property, and that's how you're really going to secure your interest.
Okay. Yeah, maybe on the next deal.
Well, Dan, she only got 40 grand, so that's what I'm saying. You loan somebody else to do it.
No, I got more. I got more in other 401ks, but I haven't put them into the self-directed IRA yet.
Yeah. And okay, so and Allison's got an advantage. I know who her partner is, and he's pretty damn good.
You trust him.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about first or second position. Dude, once you have a trust with somebody, you gotta keep moving. All right. Anything else, Allison?
No, that's it. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, Allison.
Good stuff here. All right, guys.
Was there someone else who was waiting to call in?
Man, I got a ton of calls. I can't take them all, dog.
Let's just take one more while we're doing it. I want to get back to the we'll take one more call.
About being an entrepreneur and working less, like y'all work less.
Yeah. Well, we're just sleeping all the time, making money and counting money.
Yeah.
Get up when you I get it.
Like the kids.
Somebody was telling me, not somebody. I get this question all the time. What, I want to do what you do. I said, why? Oh, I want to be rich. I says, well, that don't happen overnight. Yeah, but I want to take time off when I want time off. I said, well, then go work for somebody that does what I do.
They want to do what? Take time off when they want.
Take time off.
I said, well, then go work for somebody else that does what I do, because we don't take time off whenever we want. I mean, at least not for the first 5 to 7 years if you're lucky.
Shit, 10 to 12 for me.
Yeah.
I think you got to love it. You got to love it. You can't worry about the time off.
No, I tell people, you worried about time off. I said, do this. Go be a New York City teacher. You work 180 days a year, 6.5 to 8 hours a day, and you're going to be a millionaire when you retire. And they say, how? I said, because the money they get every month is equivalent to having had $2.5 million in the bank to generate that kind of monthly income when they retire. So they're millionaires. It's a pension, but that pension makes them a millionaire. And they had all the time off. They only worked 180 days a year. They had off every Christmas, every New Year's. They have off spring break. They have off all summer. You got all the time in the world. If time is of value to you, right? So if time is what's more valuable to you, then go for it. That's what you should do. But entrepreneurs, we sell our time to our business 24/7.
What do you see, Ronnie, when people come to you? What could you give people that want to be? My brother's been an auto broker since 1995. I don't know. A long time.
I think the thing, if you really want to do something for yourself, the car business or real estate or whatever, you got to, people say, do something you love. You never work a day in your life. I don't really believe that, because I think that only happens magically. What I tell my guys is you need to find something about what you're doing that you love and focus on that. And that way, when you get up every day, you think about that. Like whether it's helping people or solving the puzzles or the solutions of the car game or whatever it is, you got to have something that you love about it. because the hours are long.
I don't know if I believe that do what you love thing anymore.
No, I don't believe it.
What if I love playing the violin? You know, what if I love making 7-up pound cakes? I mean, I don't make money with it though.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you want to be an entrepreneur, right? They say do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. But Chris Rock says if they're not paying. So you find a gig that you like or an entrepreneurial thing that you like. It's hard. It's difficult. There's not much to love about it because it's mostly work. But when you find something in it that you love, where they're just sitting there with the customers and watching them light up, when you finally solve their problem or serve them, you fall in love with that. And so then every day you're doing all that stinking work, you don't even think about it.
I agree.
That's a good one. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't want to have any type of miscommunication or misunderstanding with the level of difficulty it takes for anybody to pay you to do something. My mentor says it's easier to get somebody to have sex with you than it is for them to get them to give you some money.
Chris, people ask me, they're like, what does it take to do what you're doing? And I'm like, you don't really want the answer. You just don't, it's like, okay, how much am I going to be working on? I'm like, more than you can imagine. How long is it going to take? Longer than you can ever possibly imagine. So you just get used to the curls, just used to doing the curls and
just going to the gym every day.
It's just going to the gym. It's like eventually you find that you love it.
You take your shirt off and you're like, damn, I'm ripped, right? Or you look at your arm and you're like, that's how it was for me. I'm like, hey, I got a property making money.
That way. It's still that way.
Yeah. Y'all. Oh, we got a question here. Mark, I was told by a hard money lender that I have to put my property in an LLC for them to loan me money. That's right. No hard money lender is going to loan you any money in your personal name, Mark. They're not going to do it. Why? Consumer protection. My mentor lost $30,000 loaning money to a human being. They're just not going to do it. All right, no more questions. Look, my phone blew up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Come on, guys.
12 missed calls.
Before we go, we got Ronnie Haskins on here. That's a rare moment. I'm squished in between two Haskins brothers.
That's cool, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Do you have them a way to text the question in? So that if you miss the call, they can just text it in? No.
No. Hey, no.
You know what? And let's see if that even exists.
Well, you can have a Google number. You can have a Google number on your cell phone and just have them text.
Yeah, this is a Google number. It goes to the thing. I got another phone.
They can text it.
They could call or text it in. That's right. We like to bring them on, but yeah, they could, Ronnie. That's a good point. Any other questions we got here, y'all? We're gonna get out of here on this Thanksgiving post. We got Black Friday sale going on right now. The link's in the video description, y'all. If you want to learn this business, all my stuff's for sale right now, right in the video description. All of my training courses. This sale will end tomorrow. Dan, yours is what? Just go to your name there.
Yep, just go to danielborrerojr.com. I've got 115 classes in my mentorship.
Good Lord.
Wow.
Unleashed video library. Plus, every class that we do every week will be automatically put up onto the video library. If you miss it, you can go to it. Guys, I'm really excited, Chris, because I just launched in the last month my two different calculators. My calculator that I use for analyzing every fix and flip property, as well as the calculator I use to analyze my long-term hold properties. So it'll tell you within minutes, whether the property is something that you should be considering to buy or not. So, and that's also part of my mentorship Unleashed program. So it's only $197 for the year. It's normally $695. Jump on it because tomorrow night it's done.
Good. All right. I don't see no more callers, y'all. Anything you want to leave for people that are starting their entrepreneurial journey, Ronnie?
I would say, yeah. I mean, you touched on it earlier. Is to build your network. You got to build your network and prove that you're valuable and build your authority within your network.
Yeah.
Dan?
I would say the same thing, but I'd take it a step further. There are plenty of networks you could go to for free. Ronnie, I, and Chris, we paid a lot of money to be in the network that we met in. But that was like building the muscle.
Worth it.
It was like you know, when you first learn to how to crawl before you walk, walk before you run, and run before you sprint. So, you know, Ronnie, I, and Kris, we're in the sprinting part of our careers, but in the beginning part of our careers, while we were crawling and walking, I was going to free stuff. You know, I was also going to a lot of community-based type of functions, whether it be block party boards where they're setting up, you know, organizing the block party, be part of that, right? Community board meetings, or any meetings where the police are actually hosting a public safety type of meeting in the community, right? Those are all free events that you could go to and start networking.
Yeah.
You know, my mentorship class, you know, I encourage my mentees to network within the chat, right? So, you know, there's so many places you could go to network for free, and I would start there.
Yeah, good job. Okay, it's good to see you guys, man. Much love to you. Round Up family, make sure you subscribe. Go to the Black Friday special to get started, and we'll see you on the next video. Ronnie, good seeing you again, man.
Yeah, we do it again, man. I'm going to go back to Colorado tomorrow. Right now, I'm going to go in the other room with Kris.
Have a glass of wine on me, man. Take care.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.